Here's your KNDY updated weatherology forecast for northeast Kansas and southeast Nebraska. I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Slight chance of thunderstorms today, otherwise sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Daytime highs approaching 88. Southerly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Lows level off around 69. Tonight, slight chance of thunderstorms. I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Currently, it's 68 degrees.
Kansas Mid-America Network News. I'm Andy Hoosier. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has restricted new hunting activities for multiple lakes across the state of Kansas as we go into the fall and hunting seasons in the state. KSNT News reports that the announcement came from a press release yesterday afternoon from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, saying that the new policies in Kansas are now in line with new hunting regulations that were passed by commissioners with the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks last year. They say the new regulations apply to Hillsdale, Clinton, Perry, Pomona, Melbourne, Tuttle Creek, Milford, Canopolis, and Wilson Lakes. Some of the new regulations include issues on baiting, trail and game cameras, along with night hunting equipment, commercial guiding of hunters, and antlerless white-tailed deer limits. In other news, Kansas Secretary of State Scott Schwab's office is reminding individuals that if you plan to vote in November for the general election, that the deadline to register to vote for the general election is set for October 15th. You can register online at kdor.ks.gov.
Attention Wichita and surrounding communities. The September 10th sale at Midwest Kia is here, and you won't want to miss it. For a limited time, drive away in a brand new 2024 Kia Forte LXS for just $199 a month. That's right, only $199. Need something with a little more space? Check out the full-size 2025 Kia K5 LXS. Now available for just $299 a month. That's right, incredible payment options on both the Forte and the K5, but only during our September 10th sale. Or save up to $13,000 off MSRP on the EV9. With 5 different SUV models to choose from, there's something for everyone. Hurry in to the Big 10th sale at Midwest Kia or online at MidwestKia.com. Midwest Kia, a better way to buy.
We want to see ya in a Midwest Kia.
See dealer for details. Offers end September 30th. Subject to credit approval. Excludes taxes and fees.
A daycare out of the city of Wichita has been suspended of their license after the Kansas Department of Health and Environment ended up suspending that license, saying that the KDHE found a child with second-degree burns back on September 15th. As they say, the child was suffering burns to their buttocks, thighs, feet, and second-degree burns to lower extremities. KSN News reports that the His Loving Hands Home Child Care that was located at 357 North Erie in Wichita is currently under the investigation after 2 other children also were found with bruises and scratches on September 6th. All the children have been placed in protective police custody and transported to the Wichita Children's Home, as according to the KDHE, they say the licensee did admit to smacking one of the children, causing the bruise. In other news, the Consumer Product Safety Commission did announce with a press release at the end of last week that more than 866,000 Airjet and Hydrojet spa pumps have been recalled as the plastic housing can catch on fire, and many of them are reported to be here in the state of Kansas. Mid-America Network News.
Whether you're a full-time rancher or part-time adventure seeker, make sure your ATV, UTV, quad, or side-by-side are protected. At Blue Valley Insurance, we carry a range of policies that cover different types of risks to your off-road vehicles. Maybe someone gets injured, property gets damaged, or a collision with a vehicle or fence. The right insurance can help with out-of-pocket costs. Ride with confidence knowing you're protected with Blue Valley Insurance of Lynn, Greenleaf, Hanover, and Marysville.
Nebraska Mid-America Network News. I'm Andy Hoosier. Students at Norfolk Public Schools got a speech from Mike Donahue earlier this week talking about some of the challenges that high school students face in today's times. One of those things being social media, where he said it can be a challenge and an asset for students if they apply themselves.
Well, the social pressure that young people face today is much greater than it was, 20 years ago, even 10 years ago. Because of social media, these kids are now connected to kids in Detroit, kids in Boston, kids in, Texas, whatever. So their worldview is being formed by different parts of the country.
That was Mike Donahue, the founder and director of Value Up on the Panhandle News Channel Nebraska, where he says he's spoken to more than 1 million different students over the past 2 decades to help navigate the challenging times. The Nebraska-based company says that he likes to focus on fostering positive school culture, where he says right now the focus is trying to suggest on how to improve communication with children and their parents.
Have you ever thought about the impact your broadband provider has on our children's educational experience? In today's world, our schools and students rely on broadband internet more than ever for teaching, for interacting, to bring outside expertise into our small schools, and to open up our students' worlds. At Blue Valley Technologies, we believe our students deserve all of the resources in the world, one of the many reasons why we stand by in building robust fiber networks. We wish all of the students, families, and educators we serve a successful school year. We are proud to keep you connected.
Reporting local news, I'm Bruce Dierking. Community Memorial Healthcare will host a series of town hall meetings to present information regarding extension of the half-cent sales tax, which will be on the ballot for Marshall County voters in November. The measure would continue funding of around $1.2 million annually from a half-cent countywide sales tax that's earmarked toward general operations in an effort to offset some $1.5 million in uncompensated care annually. The public are encouraged to attend town hall meetings planned in Marysville this evening at 7 in the South Plaza Conference Room at CMH, Wednesday, September 25th at the Valley Heights Junior Senior High Commons area, Wednesday, October 2nd in Frankfort at the Allstat Center, and Wednesday, October 9th in Beatty at the Community Center. Again, the informational town hall meeting is open to the public this evening at 7 in the South Plaza Conference Room at CMH. Additional information, financial statistics, and the full ballot question are listed on the CMH webpage, and those interested may also contact Ashley Crockett at Community Memorial Healthcare. Marshall County libraries continue fundamental and advanced computer classes through September and October. These classes are free, funded through state and federal grant monies. Contact your local public library for sign-up and information. The schedule continues in Waterville Thursday evening and Vermillion September 28th, in Beatty October 3rd, Frankfort October 9th, Axtell October 10th, and Blue Rapids October 17th. Again, these fundamental computer classes are free, open to anyone through their local public library in Marshall County. Blue Rapids Annual Community Match Day was wrapped up Monday, generating nearly $83,000 with 411 gifts toward 24 organizations and nonprofit funds. Mail-ins may increase the final total, which surpassed the $70,000 mark, to qualify for Patterson Family Foundation match funding. Topping the leaderboard was the Blue Rapids Historical Society with nearly $12,000. Blue Rapids Action Team received well over $10,000. Blue Rapids Library, St. Monica, St. Elizabeth Church each received around $9,000, and Prospect Hill Cemetery $5,000. The museum was also tops in number of gifts with 49, Prospect Hill 42, and the library 39. The complete totals are listed online at bluerapidsmatchday.org. The annual US 36 Treasure Hunt begins Thursday, continuing through Saturday this weekend along US 36 Highway in Kansas, as well as fabulous finds on 99 this Friday and Saturday, which runs along K-99. Hundreds of antique, estate, garage, and yard sales featured in communities and along those rural routes. Awareness of traffic is urged, with many visitors, some from out of state, that may not be conscious of local traffic and may at times stop and turn around unexpectedly. Your News on Your Time, a podcast of our morning and midday news blocks available each day, Monday through Friday, on our website at KNDYradio.com and our social media. Dwayne Polson, age 91, of Lee. Funeral service Saturday, 11 a.m., Salem Lutheran Church, south of Axtell. Burial in the church cemetery. Visitation Friday, 10 until 7. Family will see friends Friday from 5:30 until 7 at the Padden Funeral Chapel in Frankfort, in charge of arrangements for Dwayne Polson. Dennis L. Denny Kane, age 76, of Marysville, passed away September 13th. Private family service to be held at a later date, with Kinsley's in charge of arrangements for Denny Kane. On the Marshall County Senior Citizens Lunch menu today, Polish dog, seasoned mashed potatoes, peas and sauerkraut, and apricots. Tomorrow, lemon pepper fish, cornbread, sweet potato, cabbage, and fruit cocktail. KNDY News time is 7:13.
United Bank & Trust has been fulfilling the banking needs of families and businesses in Northeast Kansas for decades. United Bank & Trust is always advancing and is excited to introduce a tablet banking app. Simply search UBT Tablet in the App Store and download. Enjoy banking on your tablet from anywhere. It's a mobile fast world, and so is United Bank & Trust. The bank for your future. United Bank & Trust. Banking for your way of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Celebrate the classics from Motown and beyond. When the Sounds of Soul visit Marshall County September 27th and 28th. Featuring hits from The Temptations, Four Tops, Aretha Franklin, Barry White, Whitney Houston, and more. Don't miss this amazing collection of 12 talented musicians. Enjoy a pork chop dinner with the show at the Vermilion Community Center Friday, September 27th, 5:30 p.m. Tickets are $25 and must be purchased in advance. Call 785-313-3500. Enjoy a second show at Venue 36 in Marysville on Saturday at 7 p.m. Tickets are only $15 for adults, $5 for ages 18 and under. Dance, sing, and step into the golden era of Motown's greatest hits when the Sounds of Soul bring Marshall County the smoothest soul sounds and feel-good vibes September 27th and 28th. Grab your tickets today by visiting marshallcountyarts.org or find Marshall County Arts Cooperative on Facebook.
This week is Constitution Week, celebrating the 237th anniversary of the signing of this great document. Did you know that phrases like "it's a free country" are not in the Constitution? While the First Amendment protects freedom of expression, it also has limitations for defamation, perjury, contempt of court, hate speech, and more. Study the Constitution, know your rights, and understand what it says and does not say. This announcement provided by the Arthur Barrett Chapter National Society Daughters of the American Revolution.
Here's your KNDY weatherology forecast for northeast Kansas and southeastern Nebraska. A blend of clouds and some sunshine developing today, high of 88. Gusty south winds. Tonight, mainly clear. Slight chance of showers and a few thunderstorms, low near 69. High of 92 on Thursday. Lots of sun. Gusty south winds. Thursday night, mainly clear. Low near 61. High of 89 on Friday. Mainly sunny. Chance of showers and storms developing Friday night. Low near 65. Showers likely on Saturday. A few storms, cooler with a high near 82. Saturday night, chance of showers and storms, low near 59. Reach a high of 72 on Sunday. Lots of clouds, occasional sun. Areas of showers and a few storms. Sunday night, chance of showers and storms, low near 53. Slight chance of rain on Monday. Lots of sun, a few clouds. High near 69. A meteorologist, Laura Lockwood.
Average high temperature, mid-September 81, record high on this date 102, the average low 56, and the record low 36. Sunset this evening 7:31, sunrise in the morning at 7:12. It's 68 degrees, cloudy overcast again this morning. Dissipating scattered showers, primarily confined to south central Kansas. Little activity along the Kansas-Nebraska state line west of us has mostly disappeared. That's a check of the morning news and weather for this Wednesday, the 18th of September. KNDY News Time, 7:17. I'm Bruce Dierking reporting.
What makes Tony's Meat Market in Marysville exceptional? It's you, the customer. The highest quality meat selection with prices that won't break the bank. Stop in Tuesday through Saturday and find yourself the perfect cut of beef, pork, or chicken for all your grilling summer needs. Special orders available, a drive-up window for your convenience, and a friend from the first visit. Swing by Tony's Meat Market on Highway 36 in Marysville and come see me, Tony, the Meat Man, and the rest of the crew and get your grilling party kicked off right.
Check out the new Chevy Silverado trucks at the Nordis Motor Company in Marysville, including a 25 model 3500 HD, a 24 model 2500 HD, and a 2400 model Chevy Silverado 1500, and a Chevy Colorado four-wheel drive. They're all new and awaiting your test drive at the Nordis Motor Company in Marysville.
You've heard of Shoeless Joe? We have the 21st century version. Good morning, I'm Jay Reynolds. Wild game in San Diego last night for the Padres and Astros. Houston hangs on for a 4-3 win in 10. The ninth ends with the game tied, but not a certain shoe. Jose Altuve thought his inning-ending ground-out went off his foot in the batter's box.
And Altuve's taking his spike off, and he's been thrown out of the game. He's showing his bare foot to the plate umpire, Brennan Miller, to show where it hit him, and he's been tossed from the game here before the bottom of the ninth.
Roxy Bernstein here on ESPN Radio. Altuve's third career ejection, 2 of them this season. Astros win. They lead the AL West by 5 over the Mariners, who were blown out by the Yankees 11-2. Juan Soto, career homer number 200, and he's now hit a home run in every big league ballpark. Tightest division race, NL West. Dodgers on top by 3.5. Padres with that loss to Houston, while LA loses to the Marlins 11-9. But in the loss,
pitch, and Ohtani swings, hits a drive, deep to right field. It is into the upper deck for home run number 48.
AM 570 LA Sports, 48 homers and 48 stolen bases. Ohtani closing in on baseball's first 50-50 season. Twins beat Cleveland 4-1. Tigers a 10-inning win in Kansas City. Detroit remains a game and a half behind the Twins for the third wild card spot in the American League. NL wild card, Mets are 2 games clear of Atlanta. Mets beat the Nationals 10-1. Braves fall to the Reds 6-5. That's now 3 straight losses for Atlanta. Phillies beat the Brewers. They now lead the Dodgers by 2 for the top record. Worst record, White Sox. They're shut out by the Angels, loss number 116. WNBA, Liberty beat Washington, and New York clinches the 1 seed for the postseason. Football, Dolphins place Tua Tagovailoa on IR. No timetable for his return from his latest concussion, but he's out a minimum of 4 weeks.
Everyone on the road is trying to make it to their destination safely. You can help by staying aware of the large trucks and buses around you. They take longer to stop, have large blind spots, and make wide turns that require caution from other drivers. It takes all of us working together to share the road safely. Learn more at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov. Paid for by FMCSA.
Valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
High school football Friday. Marysville hosting Wamego live on AM 1570, FM 94.1. Our Friday feature game, Hanover at Washington County, live on FM 95.5. High school football on air, online, and on our mobile app. College action Saturday, Kansas pregame at 10:30, Kansas State pregame at 7:30.
From ABC News, Wall Street now. The first interest rate cut since the spring of 2020 is expected today. The question is whether it'll be a 0.25% reduction or whether the Fed will pull the trigger on a 0.5% cut. The Fed's announcement comes this afternoon. Investors have been marking time awaiting that decision. On Tuesday, the Dow Jones slipped a fraction to finish the day at 41,606. The S&P gained a fraction. The Nasdaq Composite rose 0.2%. Tupperware has filed for protection from its creditors. The company hopes to continue operations as it works through bankruptcy. In the filing, Tupperware's chief executive blames what she calls a challenging macroeconomic environment. And Elon Musk says SpaceX will be suing the FAA for, quote, regulatory overreach. Regulators have hit Musk and company with $600,000 in fines, alleging violations of launch requirements during 2 missions last year. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Hi, this is Kevin Throm, Marysville High School graduate of class 1984, a proud Marysville High School Alumni Association member. Our first annual Bulldog Family Reunion is coming up September 27th, and we'd like to invite you to come out and enjoy the evening. tailgate-style food, and cash bar to wind down and reconnect with old friends. Just $5 for alumni and $10 for non-alumni. No need to RSVP. Just come and have some fun at the first annual Bulldog Family Reunion, September 27th at Venue 36.
Good Wednesday morning. Sam's back with your latest market information here on the Mid-America Ag Network. Well, as we inch closer to yet another day of trade on this now Wednesday, September 18th of 2024, we saw a mixed finish yesterday in the grains and the oil seeds. We saw quite a bit of volatility in a lot of places, some pretty sharp negative losses in others, but generally it was a mostly mixed day yesterday. Higher numbers in the livestock. In fact, triple-digit gains for the cattle markets. October live cattle was up 157 at 178.80. December up to 179.85. That was $1.50 higher. Triple-digit jump for the feeder cattle as well. September feeders up $2 to $243.30. October up 175 at $240.75 per hundredweight. Gains for the hogs. October lean hogs up 185 to 81.77. December to 73.70. That was 152 in the green. All right, let's take a dive through the overnight pre-trading session here this morning. Again, it's not indicative of the day of trade, but just a little sneak preview as to maybe what traders are thinking before the opening bell. Chicago spring, Kansas City wheat needs some recovery today, and they're starting to see a slight jump in the right direction. December Kansas City wheat's up 2.5 currently at 582.5. March up 3 at 596. Oats are also higher. They were double-digit down yesterday. December oats to 354. That's up 2 3/4 cents. Looking through the row crops, corn is starting slightly higher. December corn up 1 3/4 to 414 1/4. March up 1 1/4 at 432. Soybeans a nice double-digit jump this morning. November beans up 12.5 at 1018.5. January up 12 at 1036 3/4 cents. The meal up 390 at 321.90, and soy oil up 47 at 41.02. Cotton up 28 at 72.42. Into the energy markets, it's a bit lower today. Crude oil down 91 at 70.28. Unleaded gas is down 2 cents a gallon at 197. Heating oil down a penny at 211, but natural gas is up that 1 cent mark at 233.
From Kansas State University, this is Agriculture Today. I'm Shelby Varner. Fall armyworms and armyworms are still in Kansas and causing damage to crops and forages. K-State crop entomologist Jeff Whitworth explains the differences between the two and what they are doing this time of year. He says how they can be identified.
The fall armyworms generally a little browner in color. It can still be striped, but the key identifier is the 4 dark gray or black spots on the last abdominal segment, just towards the end. Even the small larvae, they're pretty distinctive, so you can tell them. But once the larvae get a little larger, they're readily apparent, I say. The true armyworm, which is the other culprit right now that's out and about quite a bit, they don't have those 4 spots. They're generally a little darker green and black, a little more striped, but you can't always go by that. But you can always go by those 4 dark spots, that last abdominal segment on the fall armyworm.
Whitworth discusses where and how long they commonly feed.
In both cases, armyworm or fall armyworm, it's about a month-long period of time from egg to egg. So you got about 2 weeks in there when they're actually going to be feeding. That's really important if you're trying to manage the damage. And they will feed in soybeans, they will feed in wheat, they will feed in just about, sorghum, corn, any of our crops.
One of these insects overwinters in Kansas, and Whitworth describes how they move around.
If the population you're worried about is predominantly fall armyworms, once they pupated this time of year, I don't think they're going to oviposit or lay eggs again around here. I think once they pupate and the adults come out, I think they're going to fly south for the winter. So you're not going to have any more problems with fall armyworms, as opposed to armyworms. Armyworms, for the most part, overwinter in Kansas. So once they've fed, and they have about the same time frame for their life stages as the fall armyworm, 4 or 5 days for the eggs, 2 weeks for the larval, maybe a week for pupae, and then they become adults. Armyworms, in this case, they're going to lay eggs in Kansas. So they're going to fly around, they're going to mate, and they're going to lay eggs. It's going to be another week, and then they're going to start feeding on whatever crop's available. They will leave once the crop matures and senesces or turns brown or whatever you want to call it. They're going to leave and they're going to go to whatever's green in the area.
That was K-State crop entomologist Jeff Whitworth on the life cycle and movement habits of fall armyworms and armyworms in Kansas. Learn more from the Crop Insects in Kansas book at www.bookstore.ksre.ksu.edu. I'm Shelby Varner, and this has been Agriculture Today over the K-State Radio Network.
Cattle sale Thursday, September 19th at Marysville Livestock Incorporated with a special sale at 4 p.m., including a complete dispersal of 200 head for the Curtis and Brody Stom Fall herd. All cows bred to T7 bulls with 40 years of genetics. These are calving daily, half being calved by sale day. Plus 75 replacement quality heifers weighing 800 to 900 pounds, 21 black and white face, 64 black Angus. All have been pelvic measured with current shots. Featured at Thursday sale, 4 p.m. for these special sales at Marysville Livestock Incorporated.
September's birthstone, the sapphire, was once thought to guard against evil and poisoning. Learn more about the brilliant blue gem next on the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report.
Have you ever tried to buy gold and silver and felt like you were talking to a used car salesman? That's because the precious metals industry is like the Wild West. Salesmen can say pretty much anything or make any promise they want without repercussion. But Genesis Gold Group is different. They're a faith-driven Christian precious metals company and believe in educating their customers, not pressuring them for a quick sale. Genesis Gold Group focuses on customer service, not sleazy marketing. Genesis Gold Group is named after the first book of the Bible for a reason. Proper stewardship of wealth is their specialty. Find out why they've earned a 5 out of 5 rating through the Better Business Bureau and how they can help you secure your wealth or retirement through physical precious metals. Call right now to learn more.
800-603-5815. 800-603-5815. 800-603-5815. That's 800-603-5815.
With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report for Wednesday, September 18th, the 262nd day of the year. Screen legend Greta Garbo was born on this day, and the first issue of the New York Times was published in 1851. September's birthstone, sapphires, are a form of corundum, the second hardest mineral. Commonly ranging in color from light to dark blue, they're found chiefly in placer deposits, which are formed when minerals naturally separate from other sediment due to gravity. September's birthstone was traditionally a favorite stone of priests and kings, as the sapphire is said to symbolize purity and wisdom. They're also thought to ease pain and reduce stress. However, if you dream you're wearing a sapphire, be warned, you should be less impulsive. That is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report. Learn more about birthstones at almanac.com.
It's 7:30 from KNDY. 68 and a cloudy overcast this morning in Marysville. Radar had some light to scattered showers along the state line. Those have mostly broken up. Some light activity down in the south central part of the state. All of that could redevelop later today with afternoon heating. Some later afternoon thunderstorms into the evening hours could turn off a little bit rough.
Kansas Mid-America Network Sports. I'm Andy Hoosier. The Kansas City Royals are going into game number 3 of their 3-game series against the Detroit Tigers as they are back at home at Kauffman Stadium after their 3-game series on the road against the Pittsburgh Pirates, where the Royals ended up going 2-3 in the series. Kansas City has worked their way back up to that number 2 slot in the American League Central, sitting at an 82-69 record, just behind the Cleveland Guardians at 87-64. First pitch tonight is at 6:40 and getting ready for another 3-game weekend series at home against the San Francisco Giants. In minor league baseball in Kansas, the Wichita Wind Surge are officially wrapped up for their regular season after they end up topping the Tulsa Drillers by a 4-2 victory in their final game of the regular season. They conclude their 2024 year at a 58-80 season with their announcement of opening day for 2025 at Riverfront Stadium in Wichita on Tuesday, April 8th of 2025. Mid-America Network Sports.
You're tuned in to the TVL Rundown, a comprehensive weekly look at the athletics inside the Twin Valley League. The TVL Rundown is a service of B&D Buildings in Axtell and the Citizens National Bank in Greenleaf.
B&D Buildings of Axtell specializes in post-frame buildings. Give them a call for stud-frame buildings with complete concrete and electrical work included. It's one call to get the job done. B&D Buildings, specializing in post-frame building construction, plus repairs and more. Always free estimates. Give them a call. B&D Buildings of Axtell, 785-294-0147. B&D Buildings at 785-294-0147.
Another reason to make the Citizens National Bank your bank. With a century of experience, you know you can count on us for convenient banking and personal service for people you know and trust. With extended hours and online banking for all your financial needs. Another reason to make the Citizens National Bank your bank.
Welcome to the TVL Rundown with Max Blasky, joined along with Jeff Wirtz. Jeff, another busy week in the TVO, but cross-country rankings finally came out for the state of Kansas this week, and a lot of area teams are seeing their names on those rankings.
It's just another sport where we just constantly see TVL teams. Actually spoke to some state media this week, and they said no shock seeing more Twin Valley League teams in more polls. To give you an update on that, it is the Centralia girls. They are number 5 in the state this week. Always a popular squad, always a squad that's really in the cross-country ranks every year. Also, on the boys' side, it is the Axtell boys who are currently ranked number 3, and the Centralia boys as well check in at number 6. So, again, just another occasion where you're going to see a lot of TVL action and a lot of top teams in the Twin Valley League dominating another sport.
Used to seeing a lot of TVL names in the top 10 of these state rankings, Jeff, and especially with cross-country, kids compete against each other, throughout the year. And I think Thursday, an opportunity to see some of those runners.
An opportunity to see a lot of those runners, and at the same time, head over to Onega as we have a multitude of TVL teams there. Axtell, Centralia, Clifton Clyde, Frankfort, Hanover, Lynn, Valley Heights, and Washington County, all at Onega. So, yes, you get the top teams there, and you get some really good teams that maybe aren't ranked yet.
And I guess last sport we always kind of chat about, Jeff, had another good football Friday last week. As we get ready to go into this week, KNDY will be at Washington with the Washington versus Hanover homecoming game there for the Tigers. A lot of other good contests out there, too, as well. Anything kind of pop to mind for you?
Well, I'm headed over to Valley Heights. I want to see the Doniphan West Valley Heights matchup. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Mustangs in that game, D-West and Valley Heights. That way I can't lose. But I think that's going to be a terrific game on Friday night. There really isn't a kind of slow game. There really isn't a game that I don't think is going to be incredible. The Clifton Clyde Eagles on homecoming host the Lynn Bulldogs. Both of those teams coming off of tough losses this past week. So hoping to kind of turn things around for them. And the one team that does go out of the league is Blue Valley. They play Kansas Christian Academy out of, I believe, Olathe. The Rams host that game on Friday night. And, of course, Axtell with a matchup against Chase County that looks to be pretty even. I could say this is one of the first games that I think Axtell really gets a run for their money.
And as always, as the fall season tags along, stick to KNDY Radio and the TVL Spotlight for all your Twin Valley League coverage. And find a full version of our conversation online at kndyradio.com underneath the podcast tab. You've been tuned in to the TVL Rundown, a weekly comprehensive look at the athletics inside the Twin Valley League. The TVL Rundown is a service of B&D Buildings in Axtell and the Citizens National Bank in Greenleaf.